Hello everyone, it's Cousin and another brand new video today. Oh my god, finally, about time, more Doctor Who figures. Yeah, I know there's other Doctor Who news going around, and yes, I was going to address it today, but because I love Doctor Who merchandise and Doctor Who figures, I thought I'd make this video today and do the Series 11 news on Thursday. So if you haven't already subscribed and you want to see that, make sure you click that subscribe button. Moving on to figures, I love Doctor Who figures, of course I do, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I have been for many years. I've collected loads of figures. In fact, right next to me I've got 5 different variations of the Tardis. I've got the Tardis playsets behind me, both of them, well actually all 3 of them, the 10th Doctors, 11th Doctors and the Junkyard, and I'm a massive fan, I just can't help it. I absolutely adore all of the collections, and I've been waiting on the edge of my seat for something new to get announced in terms of merchandise. There's been nothing, and I've been low-key panicking. But now, here we are. B&M have saved our day because we're getting 3 brand new figure sets and 1 new box set for Doctor Who merchandise. I'm going to go through each box set and each figure one at a time, talking about my opinions on it and what I feel about it. I'm also going to show you them. It's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, so make sure you stick around and enjoy, because the best is most certainly last. Okay, so ignoring the box set, we're going to go straight for the figure sets. If you don't know already about B&M figure sets, pretty much they release 3 figures in one box for a low price of about £15–16, which is amazing if you consider the price of the normal figures by themselves are usually around £10 to £15 by themselves. So having 3 for that price is spectacular. So yes, these are not going to deviate from those prices, these are going to stay the same, and you're going to get a hell of a deal getting these amazing unique figures. So let's get right into it. So talking about the first box set, we have the first 3 little figure set, and here it is. It's called the 1970s collector set. It includes 3 figures, one of the Brigadier, the Doctor and an Auton. Talking specifically about each one, let's start from left and go to right, yeah? So this is the Brigadier as seen in the 3rd Doctor's first season. We've had a Brigadier figure before, looks very similar, but this one's got a bit of a different wash. A nice beige suit opposed to the normal army unit green. We've got sort of there's a few differences here and there, but overall it's the same Brigadier figure with a nice new paint job. And my god, we're getting a Brigadier figure again. Like, I mean, it's been a long time coming. I'm sure the original Brigadier release was years ago now, so it's great to see him back, and he looks great. I mean, he looks like Nicholas Courtney, so that's always great to see. But there's not too much to say there. It is basically just a recolor. In the middle we have the 4th Doctor, as seen in the Talons of Wen Chang. I hope I haven't butchered that name, but I probably have. So in this episode, or story, the Doctor dresses up as Sherlock Holmes, and this is his costume, minus the hat. There's no Sherlock Holmes hat, unfortunately, but we do have an amazing hair and head sculpt for Tom Baker, which just looks strikingly like him. There's no denying that's Tom Baker. The costume is very unique. We've never had this before. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter have actually made customs of this figure before, and it's just a breath of fresh air to get not only another, not only a 4th Doctor re-release, but a new costume. At last, it was when we got the 6th Doctor costume, the blue one from Big Finish, as an actual figure a couple of years ago. It was great to see. So to get this is like, oh my god, wow, we're actually getting this. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. So big collectors and big classic era fans, especially the 4th Doctor's era, will be more than happy to have that on their shelves, I'm very sure. And furthest right, we have an Auton Mark II, as seen in the Terror of the Autons. So yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know if the Terror of the Autons have been made before. I don't think they have, because I don't recognise them as a figure, but my god, it's been recreated brilliantly. Can you just see, like, straight away? You got the lovely 70s robotic face mould thing there, replicated so well as a figure. The suits are very basic, but I mean, that's what you expect. It's what it looks like in the show. The hand seems to have a sort of gun port, so that's great. Obviously the modern Autons from Rose have the sort of detachable finger section. There's got like bullet stuff underneath, so it's great to see that included again here as part of how the Autons sort of looked. And yeah, it's great. It's going to be nice to have in a sort of Auton collection, because you've obviously got the Roman ones from Series 5, you've got the Rose ones, and now you've got these ones as well. I don't know if there's been any more released. Fact check me if you must in the comments, but it looks great. That's all I'm going to really say. So the next set along is the 2018 11th Doctor Collector's Set. How exciting! More 11th Doctor figures, and here it is on screen. We'll start from left and go straight for the Amelia Pond figure, as seen from the costume in Let's Kill Hitler. Now, wow, it's a new figure. We've actually got a new figure here, guys. This is amazing. So that's how many new figures in a row? We got a repaint, a new figure, and another new figure. So here we go. Let's talk about the new figure. This is the third version of Amelia Pond, I believe, that we've got with character options. The first being the police uniform, the second being the standard uniform costume from Victory of the Daleks, and this being the third one. I'm not counting the 3.75-inch figure range because I really don't like their sizes, but this is the third 5-inch scale in Pond variant I believe we've had, and it's great. We've got a new costume because they could have really easily just released the one that we already had, so it's great to see an actual Series 6 version of Amy Pond as a figure. Very exciting. I'm very happy with it. The paint job looks amazing. The joint is really well hidden on the neck with the necklace. The hair looks great. I must add that the face sculpt, yeah, it's Karen Gillan, but it's a little bit off for me. I feel like the original Series 5 cast for her head worked a lot better for her than this one does. But we'll have to see when the figure actually gets released. I don't know yet just from this image, but I'll be happy to find out. In the middle we have another unique figure. I don't really know. This could have been really easily customised, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's still nice. It's the 11th Doctor as seen in The Snowmen. We have had this figure released before, but the figure that got released before came with a top hat. So the Doctor in that same sort of Victorian style costume with the tie and stuff from the Snowman episode, but this time opposed to having a top hat, he has a face sculpt, and I think this could be pretty much the best face sculpt we've got from Matt Smith so far. It's amazing, because the most recent one we had, he looked like he had like really strong eyeliner on, but I really like this. I think it looks, they've got Matt Smith there bang on. I think that's just the best face sculpt they've done from it. It's great to see they've actually done a new one, so hopefully we'll get some more Matt Smith figures in years to come. That is undeniably the best version of Matt Smith we've got as a figure. It's brilliant. It looks so much like him. So I'm very, very impressed with that. I must pick this up. It's a shame it's not the Series 7B one, because that kind of would have worked better, I suppose, than just a one-off Christmas one that we have already seen before. But I can't argue with that. It still looks great. I'm still overly happy with it, and yeah, can't complain. On the right we have Clara Oswald, and my god, I am thoroughly disappointed as yet again. It's just another standard re-release of the one from the Impossible set. It's pretty much just Clara. I don't know, it looks like she's got black hair now and not brown, and I know her hair's dark in the show, but it just for some reason looks a little bit weird. It doesn't really look too much like Jenna Coleman, if I'm being honest, and I feel like the neck joint is just weird. It just doesn't work. It's awful. I felt like, you know, with them including so many brand new molds for figures this time round, that they'd release an actual Clara figure in the costume from Day of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor, so I'm a tad disappointed here, and I probably would have been like a definite buy for this set if it weren't for the fact that it's just a standard re-release of the Impossible set version of Clara, which again hasn't really improved on the neck sculpt. I think it's a little bit less obvious, but it's still very visible there, and that's just a bit of a shame. The rest of it looks okay. It's well sculpted, it's well painted, and I'm sure the dress is made of the same rubber as always that's used on the coats and the skirts. Yeah, it's standard, not really much to talk about, we've seen it all before. And here we have the final 3-figure set that I am absolutely in love with. This is just beautiful. Look at this. This is the 2018, the 12th Doctor Collector set. Every figure in this set is unique to this box. Don't know if it's going to be released elsewhere, but they're all unique to this, so it's very, very exciting to finally have these figures. One of which is actually a brand new figure. So as you can probably see on screen, that is Bill. Let's go through them from left to right here. So we got Missy at the far end, and you're probably thinking, yeah, we've got a Missy released before, and it looked very similar. Yep, it did, but this time we haven't got the hat, we've got the tie with the darker shirt, we've got the gloves, I believe we'll probably get an umbrella prop. It looks different makeup style, it looks undeniably like Michelle Gomez does, so that's great. And yeah, you may have actually pointed out now that this is actually not from Series 8. This is actually Missy as seen in the Series 10 episode Extremis. So yeah, it is from Extremis. It's that one when she gets executed, so it is the original Series 8 hairstyle, which would make sense for characters to not make a new hair sculpt, but add a different costume. So that's great, that works quite well. But I would have loved to have seen Missy with the new hairstyle, the big sort of mop opposed to the nicely tucked one. But yeah, you can't have everything you want. In the middle we have what everyone's been waiting for, the 12th Doctor as seen in the Series 9 episode Face the Raven, as well as Heaven Sent, Hellbent a little bit, and The Wedding, Husbands of River Song, as well as a few episodes in Series 10 I believe. But this is the iconic red velvet jacket. Now, unfortunately I do love the figure. It uses the Series 9 head sculpt, which is very exciting. It's a great head sculpt. It does look a bit more like, it doesn't look too much like Peter Capaldi, but it looks enough like Peter Capaldi to pass as a good figure, unlike the Series 8 model. What strikes me wrong about this figure is that iconic get-up looks so good on screen, and you can never really capture the velvet look with just red paint, and I feel like it's a tad disappointing if I'm being honest, but at the same time I'll be buying it, so there's nothing wrong with that, and I'll also be having it on my shelf. But I think Capaldi's figures work better with just your standard black coat. Saying that though, I bloody love the look of it. I love the fact that we've actually got a variant of the Series 9 figures again back, because they ran out really quickly. I've got one on my shelf, but I don't really like the jumper in 12's costume, so it's great to have a version of that head sculpt with that height in that coat with the shirt. I think it works for him, I think it works as a figure, and I'm really looking forward to having it on my shelf. On the furthest right we have Bill, as seen in the pilot. Now, this is a bit of a weird one, because when we first had the Bill figure sort of announced and speculated, it was seen to be the costume from Smile, but we haven't got that, so maybe they're releasing the Bill figure from Smile as its own figure, like an actual character release, and not a B&M one. But at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. This is undeniably the one that she wore in the pilot, and I think it works, although I think her Smile outfit is a little bit more iconic, and I feel like if you had the Smile one and this one separate, what you could have done with this one is you could have had her with the denim jacket on or something, maybe something to make it a little bit more different to the one that will eventually be released, to add some sort of unique element to it. It looks great, it looks undeniably like Pearl Mackie, the hair sculpt looks brilliant, the painting looks great. The joints are a little bit obvious unfortunately, but you can't really help that. The neck joint is unbelievably well hidden, which I didn't expect at all. And yeah, it looks like Pearl Mackie, it looks like Bill, it's a Bill figure, and it looks excellent. I can't really judge it, other than the fact that I wish it had a denim jacket, but you can't have everything you want. Hopefully we'll get a release of that at some point though. But they seem to be doing a much better job with the Bill figure than they ever did with the Clara one, so that's great to see. Last but not least we have, oh my god, my absolute favourite, not a 3-figure set, but in fact a Tardis set? This is our first classic Doctor Who Tardis release since 2010's 3 Tardis range, with the 7th Doctor, the 4th Doctor and the 1st Doctor's Tardis. I have the 7th Doctor's on my shelf currently, and the rest are really expensive because they were limited stock. I really hope this isn't limited, because my god, I want to go and get this. Like, B&M is just down the road from me, and I'm so getting this and all the other figure sets here. This is really exciting. I'm not sure how unique the 3rd Doctor costume is here in terms of figures, but it's how he looked in the story The Time Monster, so that's, you know, interesting for those era fans if that figure hasn't already been made. I'm not currently aware it has. And then there's the TARDIS just looks great. For me it looks a little bit bright, but this is just a prototype image I believe at the moment. But even if it is, I don't care. It's an official character released thing. I'd probably be more skeptical if that was like a custom. And to be fair, I haven't seen, well, any 3rd Doctor era episodes as of yet. But either way, I will definitely be getting this. It looks absolutely splendid. 3rd Doctor and his TARDIS, everyone. It looks to be... It's very interesting because it's got like a black base as well. It's interesting, I don't know. But it's an official character release of a TARDIS, and I will most certainly be getting it to go on my shelf. It looks like a repainted version of the 4th Doctor TARDIS that was released in 2010, which I don't mind, which I genuinely don't mind, because they're about, you know, 150 to 300, those ones, so I don't know how much this is going to be, but I presume it'll be less than 100, probably its original retail price, probably around £50 I would think, for this one, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. These are all coming later on this summer, and I'm thoroughly excited to get my hands on them. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments below which one's your favourite, which ones you're going to buy, which ones you're not going to buy. Tell me any more figures you'd like to see from Series 10 and other series, and tell me your ideas for a B&M set in the future, because I'd love to see what you think. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. Subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a video coming this Thursday about Doctor Who Series 11. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.